My name is Emily, and I'm 34 years old, working as a financial consultant at a top firm in Chicago. I earn around $160,000 a year now, but let me tell you how I reached this point and how my so-called family betrayed me. I have parents, my father James and my mother Susan, and a younger sister, Chloe, who's 6 years my junior. From childhood, it was obvious who the golden child was. When I was 9 and brought home a perfect report card, my parents barely acknowledged it, saying, "That's your job, Emily. Good grades are expected." But when Chloe, at age 7, aced a math quiz, they threw her a lavish dinner at her favorite pizza place. I sat there, my straight-A report card ignored in my bag, watching them shower her with praise. The favoritism only grew as we aged. For my 16th birthday, I got a second-hand skateboard with a wobbly wheel, purchased for $30 from a garage sale. "Be thankful," my mom snapped when I looked disappointed. "Some kids get nothing." Chloe's 16th birthday, they gifted her a shiny new $28,000 Toyota Corolla, even though she hadn't passed her driver's test. When college came, I was on my own. I secured a partial scholarship to a state university, covering about 40% of my tuition. To afford the rest, I worked 2 jobs, one at the campus bookstore and another as a server at a diner on weekends. Meanwhile, my parents poured every spare dollar into a college fund for Chloe. "She's going to be a surgeon," they bragged to anyone who'd listen. "We need to ensure she can focus on her studies without financial stress." I graduated with a finance degree and $35,000 in student loans. My first job was as a junior consultant at a small firm in Chicago, earning $70,000 a year. Chicago rent isn't cheap, so I lived in a cramped studio apartment where the kitchen and bedroom were practically one room. Still, I was proud to have my own place. A year into my job, I got a call that changed everything. It was a quiet Sunday when my dad called. "Emily, we need to talk," he said, his voice tense. "I got laid off. The company cut half the IT department, and your mom's knee issues mean she can only work part-time as a teacher's aide now. It's not enough to cover our bills." My heart sank. "Have you looked for other work?" I asked. "I'm trying," he said sharply, "but no one wants a 56-year-old IT guy when they can hire a new grad for less." Then came the ask. "We need financial help. The mortgage, your mom's medical bills, and Chloe's medical school tuition. It's $65,000 a year." I was still paying off my own loans, and they expected me to fund Chloe's education. "I'm not sure I can," I said. My mom's voice came through on speaker. "Emily, we're your family. We raised you. It's time to give back." The guilt hit hard. They'd always known how to manipulate me. I agreed to help, telling myself it was temporary until my dad found work. Temporary became 8 years. Every month, I sent them $3,000 to $6,000, depending on their latest emergency. A leaky roof, car repairs, Chloe's textbooks, or mom's medical costs. I covered their mortgage, utilities, insurance, and most of Chloe's tuition. To keep up, I worked relentlessly, taking extra projects and weekends, earning promotions until I became a senior consultant with my current salary. But I lived frugally, staying in my tiny studio for years, skipping vacations, and buying clothes from thrift stores. Every extra dollar went to my family or into investments like index funds and real estate trusts, as I was determined to build wealth and avoid my parents' financial struggles. 5 years into this, I made my biggest move. I bought a fixer-upper house in Evanston for $430,000, a steal for the area. It had 3 bedrooms, a decent yard, but outdated plumbing and a 1970s kitchen. I renovated it myself over weekends and paid it off in 3 years, thanks to my investments and bonuses. At 34, I owned my home outright. No mortgage, just taxes and upkeep. It was my proudest achievement. My family visited occasionally, driving from their New Jersey home. They'd eat my food, use my guest room, and never say thank you. To them, I was just Emily, the provider. Chloe would show up unannounced with her medical school friends, taking over my house for study sessions, leaving dirty dishes and empty snack bags. Not once did they acknowledge that my money funded Chloe's education. 6 months ago, everything shifted. I was hosting my family when my Aunt Margaret called. I stepped into the hallway to answer, but overheard my mom on the phone, laughing. "Emily's our money machine," she said. "She just keeps giving, no questions asked, too gullible to stop." My dad chuckled. "She actually thinks we're proud of her little house. Chloe's going to save lives, Emily's just a bank." Chloe added, giggling, "Keep the machine running. I've got 1 more year of school." I felt like I'd been stabbed. 8 years of sacrifice, and they were mocking me. I didn't confront them immediately. I smiled through lunch, but I was plotting. Months later, Chloe graduated medical school and got engaged to Ethan, whose family owned a chain of dental practices. My parents were thrilled, planning a lavish engagement dinner at a high-end Chicago restaurant, Le Jardin, for 20 guests. I kept sending money as usual, waiting for the perfect moment. At the dinner, Chloe flaunted her designer dress, likely bought with my money, and a massive engagement ring. The bill would easily hit $12,000, and I knew I'd be expected to cover it. Halfway through, my dad stood to toast. "Chloe and Ethan, you're a perfect pair, destined for greatness, and to start your life right, Emily will gift you her house." The table went silent. Chloe clapped excitedly. "Oh my God, yes. That house is perfect for us." Ethan's mom smiled. "So generous, Emily." My parents nodded approvingly. I stood up. "No," I said firmly. "I'm not giving Chloe my house. I bought it. I paid it off. It's mine." Chloe's face twisted with rage. "You're so selfish," she spat. "Selfish," I laughed bitterly. "Let's talk about selfish." I pulled out my phone, showing screenshots of every bank transfer, $426,000 over 8 years. "This is what I've given you," I said. "Your mortgage, your bills, Chloe's tuition, and you called me your money machine," too gullible to stop. I turned to Aunt Margaret. "Tell them what you heard." She hesitated but confirmed. Susan said Emily was easy to manipulate with a sad story. The table erupted in whispers. Ethan's parents looked horrified. Chloe screamed, "You've ruined my engagement." I tossed $200 on the table for my meal and said, "That's the last you'll get from me." I walked out, blocked their numbers, canceled all payments, and changed every password they'd used. Weeks later, Aunt Margaret updated me. Chloe, burned out, refused to start her residency and was shopping and partying instead. Ethan ended the engagement, calling my family opportunistic leeches. Chloe then ran off to Mexico with a bartender named Kyle, stealing $25,000 from my parents' savings. My parents, unable to pay their mortgage without my help, faced foreclosure and moved into a small rental in a rough area. My dad now works as a night janitor, and my mom cleans offices. Chloe returned pregnant and broke, abandoned by Kyle, and now lives with them jobless. Meanwhile, my life is thriving. I was promoted to lead consultant with a $180,000 salary. I'm dating Mark, a kind graphic designer with a teenage son who's great. I bought a rental condo for extra income and took a trip to Italy with Mark. We're planning a Hawaii vacation next. My parents and Chloe send messages through relatives, begging for money and reconciliation, but I ignore them. They even named Chloe's baby Emma, which feels like a jab at me. Sometimes I wonder if I was too harsh. Then I recall their mockery, their demand for my house, their betrayal after I gave them everything. Mark knows we're estranged, but not the full story. I'll tell him when I'm ready. For now, I'm savoring a life where I'm valued for who I am, not what I can give. Last week, a text from an unknown number, my mom with a new phone, begged for help with Chloe's medical bills. I showed Mark, blocked the number, and said, "Nothing." It felt liberating. People may call me cold, but they haven't been used as a money machine by those meant to love them. Respect is non-negotiable, and without it, family means nothing. My parents and Chloe learned that the hard way. They thought I'd always give in. They were wrong. I didn't cause their downfall. Chloe's choices and my parents' greed did. I'm living my best life. A home I love, a career I built, a partner who respects me, and self-respect I'll never sacrifice again. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say no and walk away, especially from those who see you only as a resource.